Hi, it's Jamie here from LGS, and in this video we're going to have a quick overview of ProofHQ and talk through what the platform does. And this is the first in a series of videos about ProofHQ. The later videos in the series get into more detail about specific features available in the platform, so be sure to check them out. So ProofHQ is an online approval solution. Before I jump in and start showing the platform, to really frame what ProofHQ is all about, it's easier to talk first about the problem that it's actually solving. So in headline terms, that problem is the management of your creative content efficiently through an approval cycle. So what does that really mean? So for anyone that's perhaps had some content, maybe it's an image or a PowerPoint file, it might be a PDF or a video, and you need to get approval of that content by third parties, whether that's your internal teams or your clients or both. And quite commonly, email is used to share that content with those third parties and to gather their feedback and their eventual sign-off. The reality is that things can get messy very fast in that scenario. Even if you're just sharing your content with a handful of people, you can end up with huge email trails while your colleagues or clients respond, and it's a real headache to try and track all that email feedback. What compounds the situation even more are situations where perhaps your colleagues or clients might not have the software to open and view your content. Your file sizes might be too large, resulting in your emails getting blocked. And it can also be challenging, for your colleagues or clients to actually convey the feedback in an email, as they're not writing directly onto the file. So that way instructions can potentially get lost in translation. On top of that, you might end up with multiple versions of your content as you make changes from the feedback, which then adds to that challenge of trying to track all the changes. So lots of things can go wrong, and it can be a real challenge to manage your content through that approval cycle in those scenarios. For anyone that's on a marketing team or perhaps in an agency space, this might be ringing some bells. So solving that problem is really what ProofHQ is all about. What I'm going to do is actually cover off 3 headline areas in the platform to really illustrate how ProofHQ can remove those headaches and actually streamline and speed up your approval process to make things much easier both for you and for your colleagues and clients. So we can see that we're logged into ProofHQ, and it's a web-based solution, so we can see that we've got everything running in a web browser. And it's taken us straight to the dashboard area, and that's really a sort of holistic overview to show you all of the content that you've shared out with your colleagues or clients, and just gives you a very, very easy way of tracking what the status is of that content. The first thing I want to do is actually deliver some content into the platform so we can share it with third parties. So we can see up in the top left hand side here that we've got a new proof button. I'm just going to click that. And we can either drag and drop our content here, or we can just select files to be uploaded. And in this example, I'm just going to use a PDF file, but it could be a Word document, it could be an image. There's 150 odd file formats that are supported. And I'm going to upload that in, so we can see now that this is just under 5 meg. That's now uploading into the platform. And we can choose who we're actually going to share that content with. So I'm going to share that with Sarah Jones, just as an example. And we can see that as I've shared something before with Sarah, it's automatically remembered her email address. And I'm now going to select that. And we can select what Sarah's role is, so we can determine what level of access she has on the proof and what she can actually do with it when she views it. So I'm going to leave that on the default, which is reviewer and approver. And we're going to cover off in more detail these areas in other videos, but I'm not going to go into too much detail here. And we're going to select for Sarah to have her daily summary email alert on that front. I'm going to notify Sarah by email that this file is actually ready to view. And I'm going to leave it on the default message for now. And I'm going to say create, just by clicking that create button. And we can see now that it's generated that proof. And we can see the PDF name at the top here, and now it's processing. So what does that actually mean? It means that it's converting that file format into something that Sarah's going to be able to view within her web browser, and she's not going to need to have Acrobat installed to view that PDF file. The same if it was an image, you wouldn't need to have Photoshop installed to view it. If it was a Word document or an Excel document, you wouldn't need those applications to view it. So the processing is actually to convert that file into something that can be viewed within a web browser. We can see now that that's finished converting. that we've actually got a thumbnail of that content, that PDF content that's come in. And we can see down here the people that we've actually shared it with. So we can see Sarah's email address down at the bottom. And this is actually really, really cool. We can see here that we've got a number of letters that are against that file. So we can see that we've got a little S to indicate that that's been sent. So that means that the email has now been sent to Sarah. We can see at the moment that we've got an O here that stands for opened. That's not in green yet, so we can tell instantly when Sarah's actually opened that file up and viewed it. There's a C here, and that stands for commented on, which indicates that Sarah's actually commented on the file. And we've also got a little D here, which indicates when a decision has been made. So what this means is at a glance, you can see exactly what the status is of your file, and it will report back automatically as those changes are taking place. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take on the role of Sarah, who's now received that email notification to say that this content is ready to view. So I'm going to open up another web browser, and we can see in Sarah's email inbox, and we can see that Sarah's received an email in her inbox, and we can see that it says that it's a new proof, the name of that proof, and that we've got one new proof to review. So Sarah's instantly made aware of the fact that that proof has been shared. And if I click on that, Sarah can see now a thumbnail of that content that she needs to view, and we can see who's actually sent that. And if I click on the Go to Proof button, what this will do now for Sarah is actually open up that content all within her web browser. So she's not had to have any native applications installed to view that. And we can see that content now, it's all running within the web browser, and we're now using the Proof Viewer to actually be able to view that content. So we can see this is a multi-page PDF file, and we can click through and see that content. And from here, Sarah's got lots and lots of tools available to her to actually be able to convey feedback back to you in terms of her thoughts regarding the file. So up in the top left hand side here, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, we'll cover that off in another video, but I'm just going to click on Add Comment, and these are some of the tools that are available for Sarah to actually be able to put her thoughts and feedback regarding this file. So just to very, very quickly run through, we can highlight different areas on a page. So we can use that square tool, we can use the pen tool to mark up different areas. We've got a line tool, an arrow tool, we can use that as well. We've also got a text tool. So for instance, we can actually select text. So if I select the number 20 there, and then we've got a number of options. We can indicate to replace, delete, insert after. So I'm going to say to replace the 20, and I'm going to say replace that with 25. And we can see that we can mark this up. And all of this is being tracked and audited. You can keep a track of exactly what the changes are that are running through, and you can see a list of all of the comments that have been made on your page. So Sarah's got great control here and freedom to write exactly what her feedback is, and she's actually writing it directly on the file. She's not relying on email to be able to put that content in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click Finish Review. So we're going to say now that Sarah's finished reviewing it. And what I'm actually going to say is I'm not going to say changes required just for this example to keep things moving. I'm actually going to say approve but with changes. So I'm just going to say save that. And now what that means for you, that in fact that you've actually shared that out with Sarah, is if we go back into the platform and we just take a look at this view, we can see now in our dashboard that Sarah's actually received that file because it's been sent, she's opened it, she's commented on it, and she's made a decision on that file. So from your perspective, you can now go in and actually view that file in exactly the same Proof Viewer, and you can actually review Sarah's feedback that she's made on the page, and then take any action that needs to be made. So we can see here all of Sarah's comments that have been made on the proof. So we can see how easy it is to actually share out content with third parties. And in that example, I just shared it with one person, but of course you can share with multiple people, you can share with groups, and there's lots and lots of control within the platform in terms of who can see what and when. But again, this is not going to be covered off in this video, as we just wanted to keep it high level for now. If anything you've seen is of interest, please don't hesitate to get in touch, and we will obviously assist in any way which we can in terms of getting you up and running on the platform for a trial. Thank you for listening.